Naro vai swastinaha padmanabha purushottamo dadatu swastino vishvakseno vishveshwaraha swastino rishikesho hari dadatu swastino vainatyo hari swastino anjanasuto hanur bhagavato dadatu swasti swasti sumangalai kesho maha Shri Krishna Sachidananda Ghanaha Sarveshwareshwaro Dadhatu Swasti 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 means Swasti Asti. Asti means existence. And Su means beautiful. And when Su and Asti are joined together, it becomes Swasti. Existence is beautiful. Existence is beautiful. Go, Premanande. And then when I come out of that, you have to get also Govinda, Govinda, and you only hit the 2 beats. Okay. For one mantra, and then you continue to play. Okay? Just watch out from that. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namle Gaura Tushi Nama Padipavana Paramadayal Prema Datta Padmavati Kumar Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Prema Purushottama Sachinandan Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Bale Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai Varasani Wali Ki Vrishabhanu Rajkumari Ju Ki Jai 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 Sri Radhe Shah. So we want to sing the Mahamantra, but first we'll sing this kirtan. If you don't know the words right there, Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandala Govinda Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal. Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal.
Govinda, 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 Govinda,
Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Gopal Nandalal. Just speed up very slowly. Speed up very slowly. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Krishna Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal, Govinda, 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 Gopala Nandalal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal, Govinda, Govinda, Gopala Nandalal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. From your heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopalanandana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Krishna Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Krishna Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Govinda, Govinda, Gopalanandana. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal, Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Oh hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Oh hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Hey Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Gopal Nandalal, hey Gopal Nandalal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey Govind. जब से राखोगे क्षमा किया तब से जियो जीरा धरे कब कैसे नैनों के बंद रारो लगियो मुस्कानों के काबा हुए हम कैसे पंखी उतारा पर अच्छी सी लगी लत में फंस थे नित से कऊ कैसे 어레이 붙어져 호이도 자리 난도 붙들려도 저리 가오가이세 Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Nanda Lal Govinda Govinda Gopala Nanda Lal Govinda 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 Gopala Nanda Lal Govinda Govinda Gopala Nanda Lal Hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Oh, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Oh, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Oh, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Oh, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Hey Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal, Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Gopal Nanda Lal, hey Gopal Nanda Lal. Bole Vrindavan Lal ki jai, Varsani Wali ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shah. Gaur Premanande. Oh, show some appreciation to the musicians. It was completely unrehearsed. Unrehearsed. They had no clue what was happening. Live improvisation. Thank you. And you. Kata now or another kirtan? Kata, okay. Your wish is my command. I am your servant. Namashristam manamapi Shachiputram Atra Surupam Rupam Tasakacha Muripurim Maturim Koishvatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Ahoradika Madhuvasam Rapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Guru Tammanatosmi Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hemabhadebhyacchavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Chilka Sukhamadi Twaram Kamade Kripa Mahitam Shanam Prapana Brinde Namaste. O Brinde Namaste Charanaravinda Govindra Damodara Madhaveti Govindra Damodara Madhaveti Govindra Damodara Madhaveti Govindra Damodara. Everyone. Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sake, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Sham Sundar Shikanda Shekhar, Smaraha Smurali Manoya, Radhikaras Kamama Kripanidhe, Supriyucharna King Korim Kuru. Tavaivasmi, Najivami Tvayavana. Iti Vikyaya Devi Tam Nama Charantikam. First of all, I offer my sustaining Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers, thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadiya Paramaradhatama, Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Leela Pravisht, Om Vishnupad Ashtotarasta Sri, Rupanuga Charivarya, Sila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Guru's Guru, my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara, the unbroken chain, the channel of enlightened, perfectly loving spiritual masters, going back thousands of years to the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My pranam to all of our illustrious Gurus. And finally, I offer my pranam to Pujapad Sri Shrimati Shamarani Didi, and also very senior here this evening, the Brinda Devidasi is somewhere, I believe. Yes. And all senior and junior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, my Sastang Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Vanchakalpatarusa Prabhasan Vaishnavi Namo Namo. Jai. By the causeless mercy of Sri Guran Goranga, we have assembled here to worship the light emanating from the tips of the toes of the holy name. Holy name is not just a sound or some words, a motto, a slogan, or a formula. It is really mantra. What is the definition of mantra? From the Vaishnava Tantra, our Prabhupada Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he has quoted, Mananat trayate yasmat tasman mantra parikirtita. Mananat. Manan means our mind is constantly churning with many thoughts. But unfortunately, in many cases, I can speak for myself, that the churning of my thoughts is akalyan, my chinta srot. That means it's a current of inauspicious ideas. If the mind is flowing with the idea that I am this physical body or mind, that I am the karta, that it means the agent who is initiating activity in this dark realm of the physical elements. If we think that we are the producers of the results of our activities, and we have a psychological thirst to attain those results, if we think that we belong to some race or gender or nation or community or family of this temporary physical plane where everything is like a puff of smoke, in the next moment it will disappear and you'll see there's nothing left and you have actually no relation with it. But still, if the flow of thoughts of all these worldly and temporary relations are there in our consciousness, this is called akalyan mai chinta srot. Chinta srot, the stream of thoughts, which is akalyan, inauspicious, not beneficial for us. And that flow of thoughts will carry us where? It will carry us into the ocean of birth and death indefinitely. It will perpetuate our struggle for material existence. It will keep us in a state of not knowing our soul. It is all anartha. Anartha. Valueless. Artha means that which has value. It is anartha. It has no value, but actually worse than that, it has negative value. So our material flow of thoughts is actually, even though we may feel very much at home and comfortable with it, and sometimes it makes us hoo hoo ha ha, it makes us laugh in between the tears. Just as a small commercial break for Maya in between the tears. Huh? But still, it is the suicidal, actually. Suicidal. So Shastra says, Pumam Bavadim Nataret Sa Atmaha. One who does not take shelter of a spiritual master and receive guidance from him and receive mantra from him, that person is like a suicide bomber. They're on a mission of self-destruction, actually. So don't be on a mission of self-destruction. How can we come out from this current of inauspicious thoughts, which is leading us only to rack and ruin? How can we come out? So mananat trayate yasmat. Manan. The mind is thinking in this way, and that which trayate, that which delivers us. The cognate of tra is a transport, to go across. That which takes us across this dangerous flow of material thoughts is called mantra. Mananat trayate yasmad tasman, therefore, mantraha parikirtita. It is famous by the name mantra. Beautiful. So we have anart, many unwanted psychological fluctuations. What is anartha? Anartha means the Chaitan Dharma Avanaramayi Vritti. Chaitan Dharma means Dharma is nature, and Chaitan means consciousness. We feel as if we are this physical body, but we are pure spirit. We have Chaitan Dharma. We are pure, eternal, transcendental spirits, part and parcel of the all beautiful and loving Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. But unfortunately, in this world, we have forgotten. We are not aware of that. And so the oscillations, the fluctuations of our mind stuff, that is called chitta vritti, the vritti, the waves of our chitta, the movements in our mind, they are covering our Chaitan Dharma, conscious nature, our spiritual nature. And so the Chaitan Dharma Avanaramayi vritti. The movements of the mind, which are avarnamayi, they are covering our spiritual awareness. They're all in one umbrella category of anartha. Anarthas. And there's many different types, like being envious of others, finding faults with others, being jealous, becoming angry, having material attachments, being in anxiety and fear, and all the negative emotions. They're all different types of Chaitan Dharma Avarnamayi Vritti. Especially pride. Pride is the worst. Pride is the last one to go. Sarvanatya Pipayaya. All the other anarthas may go. But Kuryu Pratishta Vishtaya. Yatnam Maspashane Baram in Hari Bhakti Vilas. The last one. They may all go, but the last one will not go. Pride. Pratishta. Wanting to be great. Wanting to feel superior to another soul. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. And that is caused by Rajagun. That is caused by the mode of passion. Krishna explains in Srimad Bhagavatam, as long as the mode of passion is there, then always you have this background music playing. You know, like when you go in the supermarket, there's some background music playing. So as long as you're in the mode of passion, in your head, there's always some background music playing. You are special. You are better than others. This is Rajagun, the mode of passion only. So as long as that pride is there, we cannot chant mantra. Oh, we can make some material sounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. This is material sound. But actual mantra is transcendental divine being beyond the senses. And we are praying for that transcendental being to come like an avatar. Just as Krishna descended 5,000 years ago and played in this world, that he will descend and dance on our tongue and manifest his Leela in our hearts. That is Nama Rupa Avatar. So as long as pride is there, it's not possible. Everyone is thinking, oh, there are so many countries in the world, but God bless the USA. Don't worry about those other countries so much. Just God bless the USA. And in USA, there are so many states. There are so many states in USA, right? But which one is the best? Florida. Ah. Now you're all thinking, oh, I knew Prem Prayojan was coming, but I didn't know he was a mind reader. And actually, in Florida, you know, there are so many places, there are so many cities, but which one is the best? There are millions of people in Miami. There are millions of people, but my group of friends are the best. Can you hear the music playing? But don't forget, among my group of friends in the best country, in the best state, in the best city, I am the best. This is Rajagun playing this music. As long as we're listening to this music, we cannot actually hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So our very merciful Radha and Krishna combined together and came in this world in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should chant the holy name in a humble state of mind, considering oneself more insignificant than a blade of grass. Hmm? There are so many blades of grass outside here in the garden, but none of them are jumping up saying, "Look at me." Hmm? Did you check my Instagram or my Facebook? No one. Hmm? They're all sitting there. But Mahaprabhu said you have to become more humble than a blade of grass. What is that? How can you become more humble than a blade of grass? Because a blade of grass has the ego that I am a blade of grass. You see? He also has bodily identification. So at the time of chanting Harinam, that time you have to do the Bhut Shuddhi. Naham vipo nacha narapati. I am not a brahmachari, grihastha vanaprastha sannyas. I am not a laborer or a farmer or a businessman or an intellectual, a warrior or a priest or anything. And die to live. Param Pujapad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj would often say, die to live. My Gurudev, he used to say that all bhajan, all spiritual practice takes place in Jivan Sandhi. Jivan Sandhi means the junction between life and death. If you are, Chanakya Pandit said, if you are pursuing, Hitupadesh, if you are pursuing education, then you should think I'll live a very long time. Because to be educated in any subject takes a long time. It takes many years to become expert in any field. But when you are doing your spiritual practices, you should think that Yamraj, the god of death, is standing right behind you and he already grabbed you by the sikha and he's about to take you away. And then chant like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do some of you have japa malas? Yeah? Do you chant japa? Once there was a Gurukul teacher, and he was a little bit cruel to his students, the small boys in his school. But then many years later, when one of those small boys grew up and became a big, strong man, he never forgot. He never forgot how cruel his teacher was to him. And he wanted to take revenge. So one day, this is a true story. One day, he broke into the house of that teacher at night. And he came in with a gun. And he held the gun to his teacher's head. And he gave him his mala. He said, Maharaj, chant your last round. Okay, so just imagine, right? This is your last round. Someone came with a gun and said, chant your last round. Okay, everyone, have you got your mala? Now, how will you chant? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Did you notice the absence of complacency? Did you notice the attentiveness? So in this way, when you chant Hare Krishna, you should think this is your last round. This is your last kirtan. And this is your last hope to try to attract the attention of Sri Krishna, that his heart will melt and he'll sprinkle his mercy on you. This is Tranada Pisuniche. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami describes that at the moment of death, there is an intense humility comes. And that humility causes the feelings of bhakti to surge up like high waves in the ocean. Understand? So chant like this. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't be complacent. Don't be inattentive. Chant every day with purpose. Really that you mean it. Begging for the mercy and the service of Sri Krishna. So, now I should look at the slides because I prepared a class and I just told whatever came into my mind. Excuse me. Okay. So our subject today, yes, the subject is Bhakti Yoga. Well, yes, Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga means the yoga of devotion. Hmm? Someone might think, how can yoga, how can bhakti, how can devotion be a type of yoga? So the main authority in ancient India, the main scripture which explains all the fundamentals of spiritual life, that is called the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Sri Krishna to Arjuna right before a battle. That's really significant. That's very significant. Because life is like a battle also, with very high stakes. And there's a saying that there's no such thing as an atheist on the night before a battle. Do you know that? Yeah. Now, it is a very unfortunate thing, but a war is going on, as you know, in Eastern Europe. So some persons, they volunteered to fight on the Ukrainian side. And this person was an atheist. And he went there full of feeling valor and chivalry. But when he actually got to the front line and he was in the trenches and the bombs were falling down, then he got on his phone and he was sending messages to his friends on Telegram or Instagram or something. And he started typing, I'm sitting here in this hole in the earth with bombs falling around me. And I'm praying to God, I'm praying to God. And I'm an atheist. I don't even believe in God. So it's easy to not believe in God when the sun's shining and you're relaxing on the Miami beach with a pina colada. But actually, when we're in danger, then the soul's nature comes to the surface and we think, immediately, it's natural. There must be a Supreme Lord. So this Bhagavad Gita is spoken right before, just a few moments before a huge battle. And Sri Krishna describes to Arjuna 4 types of yoga: karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga. 4 types of yoga. And these 4 types of yoga are like a ladder. The first stage in our evolution, then the next stage and the next stage, and then the graduation, the final stage. So karma yoga is for the general persons who are very attached to just doing their duties, their work, and their social responsibilities. But Krishna teaches, perform your social responsibilities. But you should meditate, I'm doing this for the pleasure of God. And in the midst of all the difficulties and challenges, try to maintain your mental equilibrium. If you are successful, don't jump up and down and pop the champagne cork celebrating. And if you fail, don't spend the days lamenting, alas, alas. Just be the same. Be the same in every situation. If you can remain in equilibrium, then you can become aware of your soul. You can distinguish eventually between matter and spirit, because it's the oscillation of the mind which is putting us in a state of confusion. So when the mind stops oscillating with alternate dualistic emotions, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat, profit and loss, when the mind stops oscillating over these things and becomes in equilibrium, then we can understand that I am a soul, become free from the bewilderment. Just like if you try to look at your face in rippling water, then everything is distorted. But when the water becomes still, then you can clearly see your own face there. So in the same way, you can clearly understand that you are spirit when the mind becomes calm. So there's another way to calm the mind. For those who are more sattvic, they may follow, we just discussed karma yoga, doing your duty, but trying to maintain equilibrium. But for those who are detached from this world, they can follow Jnana Yoga, and they try to study and analyze the elements of this world. My body is made of earth, fire, water, and air and space, these elements. And then my subtle body, my psychological astral body, is made of the elements of mind, intelligence, ego, and chitta. And by analysis, then neti, I'm not this, not this, not this. And by the gradual process of elimination of the non-essentials, they come to the essential. And that is Jnana Yoga. Now, that is very difficult. And so there's another stage, it's called Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. And as you know, that has Yama and Niyam, some rules and regulations for purity and cleanliness and stability in life. Then as asana, learning how to sit. So comes Thiram Asana, how to sit without fidgeting and without pain. It's called asana. So that you can go into meditation without sleeping, without falling over. So there's asana. And then pranayama, slowing down the breathing cycle, because the breathing cycle is connected to the mind. So as you slow down your breathing cycle, you will gradually pacify the mind. It's a mechanical way of doing it. And slowly, the person who is practicing yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, can go into the state of pratyahara, withdrawing his consciousness from the external world, and then dharana, concentration. And when concentration is deep, it becomes dhyan, meditation. So meditation is not so easy, actually. And then when meditation is deep, it turns into samadhi, trance. And in trance, the yogis, they can see Paramatma, the form of God in the heart. And then, in most cases, their soul enters into the Paramatma, and then they just enter into a non-differentiated experience of just pure light. No, just awareness, but awareness of nothing. And kind of emptiness. They've become immortal because they're not dying again and again. They've negated the negative, but they never attained anything really positive. So that is called mukti, liberation, moksha, nirvana. But superior to that, there is bhakti yoga. In bhakti yoga, you do not only negate the negative fluctuations of the mind, the akalyanmai chintasrot. Not only negate the material fluctuations of the mind, but you attain ecstatic spiritual fluctuations. And just as the fluctuations of the mind give us emotions and perceptions of this physical plane, so when by mantra spiritual energy enters into our consciousness, then we have transcendental spiritual loving emotions and perceptions of the divine realm. So we want to just discuss this briefly. So in the Bhagavad Gita, what's the first type of yoga? Karma yoga. Yoga of worldly action offered to God. Then the second type of yoga? Yes, Jnana Yoga, giving up the worldly actions and analyzing, and by negation, finding the essential. And then the next type of yoga? Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, because the Ashtanga Yoga leads to Dhyan, meditation. So, and that is a mechanical. All of these paths, they are called Arohapanta. Arohapanta means the ascending process. That means you have the mentality of being a self-elevationist. You, by your own efforts, will become elevated. And Bhakti Yoga is a completely different approach to spiritual life. Bhakti Yoga is called Avarohapanta, the descending process. You don't depend on your own efforts, because this you who's making the effort is actually not you, it's your ego. But rather, we just surrender to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and make ourselves available and receptive to receive His grace. that can reach down and uplift us and take us beyond all the other practices. So Bhakti Yoga is really the highest and best yoga. So don't lose your time. Don't waste your time doing other things. Focus fully on Bhakti Yoga. This is not our sectarian opinion. This is not just some dogma. Understand it scientifically. Why? Bhakti Yoga is the Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. It is the king of knowledge. It is the king of secrets. It is the greatest thing. So just consider for a moment. If there's God, then God is omnipotent, all-powerful, right? He's all-powerful. And if you don't know God right now, if you're not seeing him right now, it's because by his power, he's hiding himself from you. So if an all-powerful, omnipotent being is hiding from you, then what can you do to find him? The answer is a round number, 0. You can't do anything, right? If an omnipotent being right now is not visible to you, that's his desire, because what is true is what he wants. So there's nothing you can do to have the vision and realization of that being, unless you can change his mind. Hmm? So what will you do? Send him some money by PayPal? He already owns everything. You can't buy him. You can't impress him with your singing, with your dancing, with your PhD, because he already is the omniscient. He knows everything. Whatever you know is not even a grain of sand on the beach of his unlimited knowledge. You can't impress him with your beauty. It does not matter how many fillers and how much Botox you have. You cannot attract Krishna. He's eternally beautiful and young. He's more beautiful than anyone else. So there's nothing you can do. He's got everything. He's got everything. He's got everything except one thing: your heart. That's the only thing he doesn't have. So Bhakti Yoga means Atma Nivedan, to give our heart, surrender our heart at the feet of Sri Krishna. And because he's very sensitive and very kind, if we do that, he'll change his mind. And then that unlimited supreme being will reveal himself to us. And first of all, he reveals himself in the form of Sri Guru. And Guru gives mantra. And then when we chant mantra and surrender fully, then he reveals directly his form as he is standing here in this beautiful kunj. So in Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful verse. Perhaps you know this verse. Vedeshu, yagyeshu, tapasu chaiva, daneshu yat punya palam pratishtam, atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva, yogi paramstanam upeti chadyam. This is chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna has already described the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and some small synopsis of Bhakti Yoga in the next chapter. He's going to tell elaborately Bhakti Yoga in chapter 9. But here, towards the end of chapter 8, he's building up, he's explaining to create our eagerness, the features and benefits of Bhakti Yoga. So what are those features and benefits of Bhakti Yoga? Vedeshu, whatever you can get by studying all the Vedas. Yagyeshu, whatever you might get by performing sacrifices, swaha, swaha, by which you could go to heaven and enjoy with Indra and drink soma and dance with Menaka and Urvashi and beautiful apsaras in Indra's club. Huh? All these things, whatever you can get. Vedeshu, Yagyeshu, Tapasu. Tapasu means whatever you can get by austerities, fasting, for weeks on end, stopping the movement of your pran, meditating in a ring of fire under the blazing sun, or meditating in cold water up to your neck in the winter. From these austerities, you can get what? Yoga, siddhi, mystic powers. You can levitate. You can become invisible. You can read people's minds. So there's so many yoga siddhis. So Vedeshu, Yagyeshu, Tapasu, Chaiva, Daneshu. Dan means giving in charity. You know, the Hindu people know that if you go to the temple and you give in charity, what will happen? In your next life, you will have very big condo on Collins Avenue. Huh? Yeah, the Hindu people, they know. Whatever you give in charity, it will come back thousands of times. If you give to a qualified person, to a good cause, it will come back so many times. But Krishna is saying, Danesu yat punya palam pratishtam. Whatever punya, whatever pious activities you do, and whatever the fruits it can give, atyeti tat sarvam, attaining all of these things and going beyond these things. Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi paranstanam upeti chadyam. The person who is following bhakti attains all of these things, goes beyond all of these things, and at the end of his life, goes to the Paramstan, Goloka Vrindavan, in a beautiful spiritual form, and lovingly engages in the service of Krishna forever. So here in Gita, Sri Krishna is teaching how Bhakti Yoga is the supreme practice. So don't lose your time in any other practice. Give your full attention and energy in pure Bhakti, not mixed Bhakti. Yes, I'm going to do Bhakti, but I'll mix in a little bit of Ashtanga Yoga, and you can do some pranayama for health. That's no problem. But not as a spiritual path of attainment. So don't mix in the other things. Don't mix in the worldly things. Don't mix in the aroha panta, the ascending mentality. Only Pranadapi Sunichena. Giving up all ego, surrender to Sri Krishna, and chant his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yoga. Here there are many definitions of yoga in the Shastra, but here in Bhagavad Gita we discussed this already. Samatvam yoga uchate. In chapter 22 of the Gita, it said that yoga is samatva, equilibrium of mind. So while you're practicing Bhakti Yoga, try to also stay in equilibrium of mind. Don't say, I'm on the highest path. And, hey, Prabhu, blah, 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 blah. And quarreling with the other devotees. That's not Bhakti Yoga. Don't think because I'm on the highest path that I can neglect the effort. It's called Nivriti Atmaka Chesta Roop. One part of bhakti is also to make the effort to leave aside the things which are not valuable and which may disturb our practice. So always be very calm and very cheerful and very respectful to everyone. It's a common thing that you see that a person is very respectful to their superiors. Why? Because they're trying to get a promotion. But they're a little bit rough and prickly in their dealings with their juniors. So a person's humility cannot be seen by how they interact with their seniors. It's seen how they interact with their juniors. Or even some just random person, homeless person even. So try to be in equilibrium and give honor to everyone. Why? Mahaprabhu said, Jibe saman dive jani Krishna adishtan. Even though a Vaishnava is in the highest position, he considers himself in the lowest position. And he gives respect to everyone. Why? Because Krishna lives in the heart of everyone. So we cannot be conscious of Krishna's presence everywhere until we respect every single person, even down to the ants. But to speak of the human beings, even down to ants, give respect to everyone. Then we can become aware of the presence of Sri Krishna everywhere. So samatvam yoga uchate. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, he gives his definition. It's the same, but expressed through via negativa, the negative way. He said yoga is the complete restraint of the modifications of the mind. Yogas chitta vritti nirodhaha. So the movements of your mind, the movements of your breath, the movements of your senses, they're all performed by pran. What to speak of movement, your movement, all the movements of the universe. Pran is also in the universe. It is the manifestations of God's Kriya Shakti. In the creation of the world, first there is Mahatattva, then God's Kriya Shakti appears in the form of Sutra Tattva, and that is the universal Pran. That Pran is everywhere, moving and organizing and coordinating everything in the universe. That's why it said, not even a blade of grass moves without the will of God. Mayadjakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So all movements, including our thoughts, perceptions, and moods, emotions, everything, they are movements of pran, especially our internal psychological experience is movement of pran in the chitta. So we want to just look. Your chitta is oscillating. Did you see that? Now, there are two types of pran. Prakrit pran, material pran. That is the movement of Rajagun, the mode of passion. But there is also a Prakrita pran, supernatural pran, and that is the movement of devotion. And that movement of devotion is in the holy name. Nam Nam Akari Bahudani Jasava Shakti. Oh my Lord, all your powers, all your Shaktis are there in the holy name. So, just as when we speak, our speech begins with a movement of pran, and then the pran forces air from our lips, and the air is blocked by different parts of the mouth. So the guttural letters come from the back of the throat. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga. And then you have the palatals and the retroflex, the dentals when the tongue touches the teeth. Ta, 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 da, da. And then the labials that come from the lips. Pa, 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 ma. These sounds. So you can feel how the air is coming, it's being blocked from the back to the front. So, all this is explained by Srila Jiva Goswami Pad in Sri Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. So, if you want to study Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, then you can apply at Chaitanya Academy. We are doing online courses in this. So here we're discussing sound. So this is material sound. But there's such a thing as spiritual sound. So what is material sound called? What is the name of material sound? Shabda Samanya. Shabda Samanya. It means ordinary material sound. It's a movement of air. But the spiritual sound, what is spiritual sound called? Yes. Shabda Brahma. So here in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna is saying, Shabda Brahma Sudurboda Pranendriya Manomayam Ananta Param Gambhiram Durvigyaha Samudravat. Shabda Brahma is Sudurboda. That means Sudurboda, extremely difficult to understand. The mature intelligence cannot understand Shabda Brahma, spiritual sound. Pranendriya Manomayam. It manifests on the level of pran, on the level of the mind, on the level of indriya. So pranendriya manomayam. Ananta paragambiram. It is unlimitedly deep, samudravat, just like the ocean. So when Sri Guru, a liberated, realized Vaishnava, gives us mantra, then he is putting that Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration, into our heart through the ear. That is initiation. If the Vaishnava has realization, then this is transcendental sound. Krishna himself in the form of divine sound. If the speaker has no realization, then this air did not come from Golokera Prema Dhan Harinam Sankirtan. It is not the Vaikuntha Vayu, it is not the air from the spiritual. It is called the Nasik Vayu. Understand? Nasik Vayu means the air that went in the nose came out from the mouth. So that is not mantra. Mantra is Shabda Brahma, not Shabda Samanya. It's transcendental. So it manifests here, Krishna is explaining in 4 phases. So just quickly look at the 4 phases briefly. I was just in Badger last week, and we gave a lecture, 3-part lecture going deeply into this subject. So if you want to see, you can look on our website, Chaitanya Akari website. You just want to touch basically now. You see, in your body, you have a chakra system. From the Muladhara chakra up to the Sahasrara chakra, it is joined by one channel. That is called Sushumna Nadi. That is the main channel that goes from the Muladhara chakra up to the Sahasrara chakra. In the Puranas, Sri Krishna says, Yamuna Devi is my Sushumna Nadi. The word Nadi means river also. So that means that Yamuna is so dear to Krishna. He cannot live without Yamuna. So and then you have your other main channels like Pingala coming from the right side of the Muladhara chakra and then going from side to side up to the Sahasrara, and then Ida, that is the moon side. Moon side comes from the left, and the Pingala comes from the right. Sun side comes from the right. So when a person, here you can see the names of the chakras. I want to speak about the appearance of Shabda Brahma, spiritual sound. So when a person receives mantra from their guru, and when they are very humble and respectful, more humble than a blade of grass, and crying for the mercy of Sri Krishna, then Krishna in the form of Shabda Brahma first makes his appearance on the level of pran, a movement of pran in the Muladhara chakra. And that level of sound is called para. Then it rises up to the level of the mind. There we go. On the level of the Manipura chakra. That is, on the level of the mind, that level of sound is called Pasyanti. And then it rises up to the Anahata chakra. Sridhar Swami and Vishnu Thakur and other acharyas have explained all this in that explanation of Shabda Brahma Sudur Bodha. And now it's called a Madhyama. It manifests on the level of Buddhi, intelligence. And then it comes up to the Vishuddhi chakra. And that level of sound is called Vaikari. That's the part of the Shabda Brahma that a person who is surrendered can hear. If we are not surrendered, even our senses cannot perceive that sound. Atashi Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grayam Indriyai. The material senses cannot perceive the spiritual things. But Sevunmukh, when we become attentive to serving all the time, then Sri Krishna manifests through these ontological levels, coming in the form of aprakrita pran, manifesting in the heart and then dancing on the tongue. It can overflow into the senses also and make your whole body dance. That's why the Mayavadi sannyasi Prakashananda Saraswati, he said to our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are sannyasi, you should be studying Vedanta, you should be sitting peacefully and meditating. Aham Brahmasmi, I am the light. Tat Tvamasi, you are the light. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, everything is just the light. Prajnanam Brahma, the light is only awareness of nothing. Why are you singing and dancing through the streets with the crowds of men, women, and children, like we will be doing tomorrow evening? Yeah, who's going on the Sankirtan tomorrow? Yes, don't miss the Sankirtan, Nagar Sankirtan tomorrow. If you want to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nishingadev, because it's his Adivas Tithi celebration. Huh? So Mahaprabhu, he said to that Mayavadi sannyasi, "Oh, please excuse me, but I am not singing, I am not dancing. It is this name, this holy name makes me sing, this holy name makes me dance." Yeah? He has no sense of being the doer. That's called Prem Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All victory for the holy name. That means you have no control over your body and mind. You have become completely possessed by the waves of love coming from the holy name, making us sing and cry and dance. So that is actually Sankirtan. So just see that the yogi, he's trying to sit and breathe, do alternate nostril breathing and slow down his breathing to control his pran. And by controlling his pran mechanically, he makes his mind peaceful. But what do the devotees do? They chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Sri Krishna himself, in the form of the holy name, descends and he basically hijacks your pran and controls it for you. The name does everything. And so Krishna puts you into samadhi and reveals to you the divine realm of Goloka Vrindavan. He does everything. On the path of bhakti, in chanting the holy name, we are not karta, the doer. Naam Prabhu. Our master, the holy name, is karta, the doer. Remember this. And this is why Krishna said, Yagyeshu tapashu, Vedeshu, Yagyeshu, Tapasu, Chaiva. You can study the Vedas, you can perform yagya, you can do austerities, you can practice Astanga yoga and do pranayama and all these things. But if you just do bhakti, you're going to get all the results of those things faster and better and far beyond all of those results as well. Because the holy name will descend, take over all your pran and senses, param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana, and carry us to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. And in a beautiful spiritual form, we can serve him. So which type of yoga is the best? Yeah, once Advaitacharya, he was so upset. Advaitacharya was thinking, because I'm older, because I'm senior in this world, because I'm a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, the guru of the guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is always respecting me. He's always respecting me. I don't like it. Chaitanya Radasamui, Chaitanya Radas, Chaitanya Radasamui, Das Eranudas. I am the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No, wait a minute. I'm not. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mm-hmm. And he wanted Mahaprabhu to accept him as his servant and chastise him. So one day Advaitacharya was in Shantipur and he was giving a class. And he was explaining the Yoga Vishisht and how yoga and Gyan, they are the best path. So the rumor went around here and there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he jumped in the Ganges with Nityananda Prabhu and he was swimming and floating all the way to Shantipur. And he came out of the water soaking wet and he just walked straight into the class, just like here. Advaitacharya was sitting here and he was giving classes, big audience like you, soaking wet, straight out of the Ganges River. Mahaprabhu came storming in and interrupted the class. He said, Advaitacharya, what is the best path? Advaitacharya was like a Mayavadi, rocking backwards and forwards. When they give class, they give class like they're in a trance. Advaitacharya said, Jnana Yoga. Mahaprabhu became furious, grabbed him by the hair and pulled him off the Vyasasana and threw him on the ground, and he was slapping him. Huh? So then Advaitacharya was so happy. Finally, he accepted me. Instead of respecting me and bowing down to me and glorifying me, he accepted me as his servant because he's giving me some punishment. It's a sign of love. If there are many children playing, one is being naughty, then the woman who comes and catches him by the ear, who is that? That's his mother. The other mothers won't do it. Why? because they don't feel mamata, they don't feel possessiveness, they don't have the same love as they have for their own child. So when Guru gives us some punishment, some discipline like this, actually this is only love, Krishna's love, because Guru is so humble, more humble than a blade of grass. He respects everyone. So if Guru will give some chastisement, that means Krishna's Kripa Shakti has come, taken over him, and it's coming directly from Krishna. Like this. So I have the same question for you. What is the best path? Very good. Mahaprabhu will come and beat you later. Achha. So here's just a little graphic here showing how here's your mind, and it has samskaras, impressions. Some of them, I believe there we go. Here, the samskaras here, these are the active impressions, they're active right now. And they come into you from the subconscious mind into your conscious mind in the form of desires, in the form of worldly ambitions. So let them come and let them go. Don't act on them. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Apuryamanam achala patishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadyat karmayam pravishanti sarve sa shantim apnoti nakama kami. Just as many rivers are entering into the ocean, but the ocean does not overflow its banks, it stays within its boundary. So in the same way, that person into whose mind many desires are appearing, they are the samskars, impressions from previous lives. The desires are coming, but he never acts on those desires. He never overflows into action. He doesn't engage with them. He just lets them flow past and disappear. That person attains peace. Sa shantim apnoti na kama kami. Not the person who engages with every samskar, impression that comes into their conscious mind. So all the time material impressions are coming into your mind from the subconscious mind. Don't engage with them. That's the meaning of taro api sahishnuna. Be more tolerant than a tree. Be more tolerant than a tree. You see, if there's anyone in this world you don't like and they get on your nerves and they disturb you or anything, that's your best friend. It's your best friend. Why? Because they're giving you a chance to practice tolerance. So if you can tolerate things in life, you can tolerate difficult situations and difficult people, then you practice, then when you sit to chant Harinam, you can tolerate the sanskars coming from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind to disturb you. So, you see, samskars, active impressions coming into the conscious mind, they overflow. The movement of prana in your mind is attached to the senses and makes your body move. And then you engage in karma. Vacho vegam, manas akroda vegam. Manas veg means the force of the mind to engage in worldly activities for profit, fruitive seeking activities, instead of just devotion for Krishna, unconditional, without expectation. So here you can see. And then you have dormant impressions. These are not active now, but they will move in and become active impressions in the next life and harass you in the next life. So this is how our entire subtle body and physical body works. But what happens when we chant the holy name? Watch. Aprakrita pran, supernatural pran, divine movement. Krishna's energy, Nija Sarva Shaktish, in the form of the holy name, makes its appearance in our psychological functions, and then takes over our mind and takes over our senses and body and everything. And therefore, chanting the holy name. What is the best path?
Bhakti.
Bhakti yoga. And of all the practices of bhakti, what is the best practice of bhakti? Harinam Sankirtan. Yes, Sri Harinam Prabhu ki jai. Tribhuvanamanga Karisri Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. So Krishna said, Yogi nam abhisarvesham madgatenan tratmana shardavan bhajateyo mam same yukta tamomata. Out of all of the different types of yogis, the one who is a bhakti yogi, serving me with great faith and devotion in his heart, I consider him the highest of all. So bhakti yoga is the best there. And the best manifestation is through Harinam Sankirtan. So now this is supposed to be kirtan night, so I don't want to speak too much. So let's sing another kirtan, and after that kirtan, we'll have a little bit more katha, just a little, and then we'll have more kirtan. You know, once someone asked Srila Prabhupada, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada, when I'm chanting, I see this like flashing red light." Prabhupada said, "Keep chanting, it will go away." Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, "What's the result of this chanting?" Srila Prabhupada said, "More chanting." Yes. Why? Sadhyo sadhana tattva jai kichu sakal harinama sankirtane milibe sakal. Mapu said, all of the truths about sadhan and sadhya, that means practice and the goal. Other paths, you practice something and when you get the goal, you give it up. But bhakti is not like this. When you're in the stage of practice, you chant the holy names, and when you become perfect, then you are dancing with Krishna in the Rasa Leela on the bank of Jamuna, you chant the holy names. Huh? This is... Oh, Shamarani is raising her hand. So I have to receive this mercy from Srimati Shamarani.
Mercy is to ask you a question. You quoted in the Bhagavad Gita that they still
Yes.
and all that. So on one hand, we're told that Bhakti Yoga way surpasses the study of the Vedas, and at the same time, we, Bhakti Yoga, protect people, are ordered by our Guru Maharaj to study all these things.
Yes. Can everyone hear the question? So Srimati Shamarani Didi, she said that Krishna said that Vedeshu, Yagyeshu, Tapasu Chaiva, that chanting the holy names or engaging in bhakti takes one beyond all the study of the Vedas. But at the same time, those who are practicing bhakti, they also study Shastra, they also study the Vedic literatures. So how can we reconcile this? So there are a number of things here. First of all, Rigvedo to Yajurveda Samaveda Atharvana Aditas Tena Yenuktam Harir Itya Aksharadvayam. In the Padma Purana, it is said that person has surpassed all the study of the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda, who has simply uttered the two syllables Hari. Hari. That's it. Now, okay, Hari, you finished all the Vedas now, have you? Not quite. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that when we hear Harikatha from devotees, Shrinvata Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Pridyantastu Hibhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam, then our heart gradually becomes clean by hearing the glories of Krishna. Then Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu. Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu. When the Abhadrani, inauspicious things, anarthas in the heart have been washed away, you come to Nishta, steadiness, by hearing. Now, Srila Vishnu Thakur said this Abhadrani means Nam Aparad, offenses to the holy name. And so, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, each and every canto and each story of Srimad Bhagavatam has some deep rahasya, some deep meaning in it related to the holy name, by which we gradually become free from the 10 types of offenses to the holy name which are blocking us. So this is the first thing. If you listen to Harikatha and study Srimad Bhagavatam, the offenses to the holy name will go away, and then the actual pure name will come instead of just material syllables. This is the first thing. And then the next thing is that Krishna is none different from his name, his form, his qualities, and his pastimes. So those who are free from the coverings of anarthas, they experience the name, form, qualities, and pastime as one reality. So they also engage in hearing and chanting the beautiful pastimes of Krishna, but they're in the platform of Advai Gyan, the plane of non-dual experience. And they can relish more and more, because you know that chanting the holy name, you can give up offenses and it will be Nam Abbas. But to chant Shuddha Nam, pure name, you need a sambandha, a relationship with Krishna. So when you hear from pure devotees about the pastimes and the qualities of Krishna, it nourishes our sambandha gyan and it deepens our relationship. So instead of just having an idea Krishna is God and getting liberated or going to Vaikuntha or Maha Vaikuntha Golok, we can have a very close, intimate relationship and attain Braja, where no one even knows that Krishna is God, including Krishna. And that's where the highest love is flowing. Is it okay? Did I pass your test?
Yeah, so when you say the big thing that, it's not about Bhakti, but it's
The Vedas themselves, it depends how you take them. Krishna said in Gita, Vedaischa sarvam ahameva vedyo. By all the Vedas I am to be known. But Krishna also said in the Gita, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavajuna. Hey Arjun, the Vedas deal with the subject of the three modes of nature. Rise above all this Vedic kata and give that up and just surrender to me. So what is it? Krishna is saying, but the Vedas all describe me, and he's saying, oh, these Vedas are just about the material energy. What is it? So it depends on whether you take the meaning of the Vedas by Agyaruddhivriti, the ignorant conditioned meaning of the words, or Vidvadruddhivriti. That is, tomorrow we'll speak about that, because this is the newbies' day. This is kindergarten day. Tomorrow we'll speak on a more developed subject, if that's okay. Yeah. So the same words mean different things depending on your level of consciousness. So we'll pray to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in one kirtan. Now, if you feel the unsuppressible urge to get up and dance, don't let me stop you. If you feel like dancing, just dance like no one's watching, except for Krishna. Bale Vrindavan mein Lal ki jai, Varsani wali ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Shah Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai 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 Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha Ramana Govinda Jai Radhika Ramana Ambujanayana Radhika Ramana Radhika Ramana Ambujanayana Lotus eyes Ambujanayana Radhika Ramana Ambujanayana Radhika Ramana Ambujanayana Radhika Ramana Ambujanayana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopal. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ram, oh Hare Krishna, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Whoa! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai Jai. Go, hey, go. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jai.
take it?
You can take it. Broke.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. It's okay.
Yes, everyone, please take your seats again. Be seated comfortably. Part 2. What time are you supposed to end? 9 o'clock?
No end. No ending.
9 o'clock, you said?
No ending.
Supposed to end at 9 o'clock.
Infinite
Okay,
time.
just very short. Is it okay? Just a few minutes? I don't want to keep you up past your bedtime.
Please do, please do.
Yeah. Yes, please, yes. If devotees can sit down. Thank you. And then we'll continue just with the next part. Where's the technical department?
Haribol, Haribol.
Slideshow.
We just turn it back on because it was just very.
Yeah, we need the slides here. So, now. ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. There are kirtans going on all over the world. It's very popular now in many types of festivals. In many yoga studios, there are kirtans going on everywhere. But we should understand that every kirtan is not of the same category or quality. Especially if someone does not have sambandha gyan, that means a clear understanding of some basic principles, then they will not experience the power of the holy name to cleanse the heart and fill us with the spirit of unconditional love. It will not come, especially if a person does not understand that as souls we are all individuals and we're all servants of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, Mamaivangso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Every soul is one expanded, separated conscious portion of my energy. I have the energy of the material world and the eternal abode of the spiritual world, and all the souls are situated between the two. And so as souls, we are not of this material world, but we are as of now not yet of the spiritual world either. We are in tatastha, that means the marginal position, and we can turn our attention away from God and towards the material world, or we can turn our attention away from the material world and towards the Supreme Lord. This is the extent of our swatantrata, our free will. So what is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga means turning our attention away from the material energy and towards the beautiful Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whether we are hearing, chanting, or remembering, or doing parikrama, or serving the deity, or whatever activity we're doing. The purpose of it is to turn our consciousness, to center our consciousness on Krishna, not on the temporary, material, illusory energy. So bhakti is a shift of attention, essentially. Those who think that actually I am spirit and I am actually God, I just forgot that. Or God is just a primitive anthropomorphic idea for unevolved persons. But when you become educated and overeducated and sophisticated, then you realize that the truth is only the emptiness, the shunya, the void. So many persons, they have this idea that in spiritual perfection, when they rise above the physical body and mind, there is simply emptiness, impersonalism. And many such persons, they're also doing kirtan. But by chanting the holy names and performing kirtan with that mentality, then the benefit will not come, because the mentality itself is antithetical to devotion. Devotion means there has to be at least two. Two people can feel oneness due to love, but they still have to be two. And they feel oneness. So the ultimate truth is beyond duality. Beyond duality means there is no swatantra vastu, there is no substance independent of God. Everything, like an orchestra, all the instruments all play together. One symphony. So in the spiritual world, there's variety. There are so many personalities doing so many different things, but they're all orchestrated together in a beautiful symphony of Prem, of love. That's the difference. Whereas in this world, we're all clashing with each other and playing in a different key.
Funny.
So, it's very important to overcome the tendency for Mayavad, impersonalism. This will block everything. Now, let's say if you come from some background, kind of like Buddhism or existentialism or whatever background you come from, and you think that the ultimate truth is just not a person. You don't believe that reality itself has personality. What does reality have?
Personality.
Remember, reality has personality. Many people think like they have some scientism. We cannot say science. Science doesn't prove this thing. But the misunderstanding of science leads people to believe that the foundation of everything is just some kind of energy, some kind of force field, some kind of quantum foam, or super strings, or something that isn't a person, basically. Something which isn't conscious or have feelings, or maybe conscious but no personality. So why is it our tendency to think like this? Because even, quite frankly speaking, many persons, they become devotees, but they also have doubt from time to time. Because Kanishta Adhikari means they do not have Nirantaryamai Sraddha. That their faith, they have faith and then it's interrupted by moments of doubt. Then it continues again, then it's interrupted again. So it's very important to root out all types of impersonalism from the heart. Otherwise, we cannot have firm faith in the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all the great sages who have become mature and perfect in their practices, they had darshan of Krishna. And you can also have darshan of Krishna. But all types of impersonalism, they have to be removed. When you chant the holy name, you remember this mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He is a person. If a guest comes to your home, you can't just look the other way and ignore them. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you can't just space out and think about other things. You understand how offensive it is to be inattentive to non-Prabhu. You see? So our acharyas have explained that Krishna Surya Sama Maya Ayandaka. Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Adhika. Krishna is like the sun and Maya is like darkness. So I want to give an example. It's a very deep example, very profound psychological example. You can discover this truth within yourself by hearing. You know, what happens if you look at the sun?
Go blind.
You look at the sun. It's a little bit difficult. Kids, don't try this at home. So, if you look at the sun and you look away, okay, but if you look for a little bit longer than necessary, then when you turn around, you have what is called a negative after image. You know, there's a black spot, yes. Negative after image. It's like a black spot. It's a hole of emptiness in your vision. So in the same way, Sri Krishna is like the sun. When we turn our consciousness away from Krishna, then we have a negative after image, a black spot, a part deep in the deepest level of our psyche, which is an emptiness, which is a nirvishesh and a shunya. Nirvishesha shunyavadi paschatya desha tarine. Someone came to remove this. So that emptiness, that negative after image which is deep in our heart because we turned away from God, is called in Sanskrit avidya. It's not vidya knowledge, it's the opposite of knowledge. It's not awareness, it's the absence of awareness. It's not a thing, it's an absence of a thing. It's a lacuna. But it's there on the deepest level of our thoughts. And this is why our tendency is, the materialist will tend to think that everything's made of matter, and at the bottom of matter there's just something empty and lifeless and unconscious. And the spiritualist will tend to think that, oh no, spirit is the highest thing, but they'll project the same emptiness onto the spirit. You see? And so this impersonalism is very deeply rooted. It is the avidya, the opposite of realization, the opposite of awareness and knowledge in the core of our hearts, that emptiness. You see? So this is why we have a tendency towards impersonal ideas, whether they're materialistic impersonal or spiritual impersonal also. So I want to share with you just a small tool to put an end to the impersonal philosophy. So without being touched by this at all, we can happily sing to please the Supreme Person and attain His mercy. So first of all, is it working? There we go. You see? Nothing. Exactly what I was talking about. Now just consider this. The impersonalists say, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma Jiva Aikya Napara. It means Brahma Satyam. Only the light of Brahman is true. Jagan Mithya. The world is false. It's all an illusion. Hey dude, it's all an illusion. Like you met those guys. Just chill. It's all an illusion. It's all in your mind. It's all, you've created all this by your thoughts. If you step off the curb and a bus runs you over, you created that with your mind. Obviously, it's insane. But many people think like this, that all variety is an illusion and the truth is just some light. So why is this not true? You can prove that this is not true by just asking 4 simple questions. 4 simple questions. So the first question is, who is confused? You say, oh, it's an illusion. So you have to ask the question, who is the person who is in illusion, who's confused? So if there's only Brahman, the great light, the unlimited, endless ocean of awareness, then the conclusion is the only thing that could be confused is Brahman. Right? Not part of it. Because a person might think, well, we're all parts of Brahman, and some of us become confused, and there's a bit that isn't confused. But the whole point of Brahman is it doesn't have parts. It's a khanda, it's an indivisible the entity without any, it's nirvishesh, that means it doesn't have any particularities or characteristics. And therefore, just the question, who is confused? Well, only Brahman, only the light, but that's impossible. Satyam Brahman, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma is unlimited knowledge. How can unlimited knowledge become limited by confusion? So that's the first question. Who is confused? Now, the next question is, and what are they confused by? I'm using they like I'm not using a gender-specific pronoun here for Brahman, because Brahman is not gender specific in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit you have masculine, pumling, and feminine, striling, but Brahman is the neutral. Klebling. It's neutral. No gender. So now, first thing, who is confused? It's impossible. But let's just say theoretically that Brahman could become confused. Theoretically. It's impossible, but let's be generous to our friend. With the tilak like this. We'll be generous. Okay, we'll give you one miracle. Brahman can become confused. Now the question is, what is Brahman confused by? If only Brahman exists, then there would be nothing to make Brahman become confused except for himself. Right? So it's impossible for Brahman to become confused. Because there's nothing for him to become confused. But let's be really, really generous. Let's be very generous and say, we'll give you 2 miracles. That Brahman can become confused, and there's something else that could confuse him. Her. They. Don't want to make offense. So then we have to ask another question, and that is, what's the similarity between the formless light and this world? And because the classical impersonal idea is this, that illusion is like, it's a dark night and you're walking along in the forest, and from the branch of a tree you see a snake and you're afraid. But when you get closer you realize it's not a snake, it's just a rope. And then when you realize it's not a snake, it's a rope, you become mukti. You become mukta, liberated from your illusion, and your fear goes away. You're liberated from fear because the illusion is gone now. It's not a snake, it's a rope. But this theory of illusion, that is called Vivartavad. The theory of illusion is based on a similarity between a snake and a rope. If things such as snakes did not really exist, then you would not think that it was a rope. You think, oh, what is this? A big piece of spaghetti. Right? But you couldn't think that it's a snake if snakes didn't really exist. So the fault in this argument is there has to be some existence for illusion to take place. And there must be a similarity between the real thing and the illusion. So if the real thing is Brahman, the light, and the illusion is this world which is full of shapes and colors, my question is, what is the similarity by which you mistake the world for Brahman? How are they similar? Right? You couldn't walk down the street and see a tree and mistake it for what?
A blade of grass. A blade of grass.
A blade of grass, yeah. Okay? There's no difference. There has to be similarity. So, therefore, the whole theory of illusion, that actually it's only Brahman, but by mistake we're seeing the world, it just makes no sense. But let's give a third miracle to our friend. And he's our friend. Remember, every soul is our friend. They may have faults. My Prabhupada Bhakti Thakur said, when someone does something wrong or anything, don't blame them. Blame the sin, don't blame the sinner. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. So my Prabhupada Srila Bhakti Thakur, he used to say, Agyata hi doshaha. Oh, he has no fault. It is the fault of avidya, ignorance. Only that ignorance is yet to be removed by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So really, not in aggressive, I don't see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and was smashing Mayavadis. I see that he went and he sat outside where they washed their feet. And then he came in and he was very humble. I've seen my Gurudev as well. Shamrani Didi was there. We went to a place in Texas, I believe Houston area, called the Vivekananda Vedanta Society. Gurudev didn't come in and smash the Mayavadis. He came in full of affection for them. And he told them pastimes about baby Krishna, stealing butter, and being tied up by Mother Yashoda, and they were all crying. And then he said, Vivekananda, he wanted to tell you that these things in the West, but the people weren't ready. But now they're ready. And all those so-called impersonalists realize that they're not really impersonalists. We're all devotees of Supreme Lord Krishna. Right? But didn't it happen like that, Shamrani, did it? Amazing. Because Gurudev is the manifestation. Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanya Das Tatapi Jani Ami Tahara Prakash. I know my Guru is a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he's also a manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spreading his mercy in this world. So see everyone as a friend and be very respectful to them and give them 3 miracles. All right. We give you the miracle that Brahman can be confused. We'll give you a second miracle that there's something else he can be confused by. We'll give you the third miracle that there's some similarity between complete emptiness and that which is full of variety and color and movement. 3 miracles. But we still have one last question, the 4th question. And that is that if Brahman and the world are similar, and by mistake you mistake Brahman for this world and end up in illusion, so similarly you could mistake this world for Brahman and become enlightened by mistake. Right? Yeah. Like if you can mistake a rope for a snake, you can mistake a snake for a rope. It's the same mistake. Why not? So our question is, why are you doing sadhana? Why do you have... let me press the button. Number 3. Why do you perform a practice to attain perfection on your spiritual path when people could just become enlightened by accident? And even if you become enlightened by accident, you could become illusion again by accident. So what's the point? Okay. And so for all of these reasons, the impersonal view of the world is completely wrong. It is a mistake. That is actually the mistake. It is part of the illusion. And where does it come from? When we turn away from the Supreme Lord, our heart gets the negative after image, the emptiness, and we project it everywhere, philosophically and physically, in all of our dealings. And it's only the light of Bhakti that can remove that emptiness, fill that emptiness, and remove that darkness. So it's understandable. It's perfectly understandable. In this world, we've undergone so many problems. We've undergone so many traumas. By those traumas, we become bitter. We can become cynical. We cannot have the simplicity of a child and put trust in anyone or anything. It's understandable. So we should try to associate with pure devotees, with saints. And simply by hearing from them and serving them, then a childlike simple faith will come. Yes, Krishna is Supreme Lord and I am His eternal servant. And then when you chant the holy name, the heart will melt and one will become overwhelmed by love. See, Krishna, the Supreme Truth is not emptiness. Supreme Truth is a person. He has so many qualities. He's omnipresent everywhere. He's omnipotent. He's all-powerful. He can do anything. He is omniscient. He knows everything. But these are not His greatest qualities. Do you know what His greatest quality is? Prema Vasyata. Prema Vasyata means the greatest quality of the Supreme Lord is that He's controlled by love. So if a person has the ambition by meditation, I will become God, then I'll say, well, that's not very ambitious. You want to become God? Why don't you aim a little bit higher? Right? Because if you take to Bhakti Yoga and become the servant of God, then because Krishna is controlled by love, Krishna reciprocates and becomes your servant. Krishna wants to serve his devotee. He said, Aham bhakta paradino hyashvatantra ivadvija sadubhi grasturidio bhaktar bhakta jana priya. Krishna said, I am not independent. I am subordinate to my devotee. You see? Krishna is so soft and so kind. He wants to be the servant of his devotee. Sadhu bir grasta hridayo. My heart is grasta. That means grust, controlled by the love of my devotee. You know, if someone's having a bad period in their life, why is that? They're graha grasta. They're under the control of a bad star. Well, it's my Rahu period. I'm just entering into Sati Sati. Yeah? Like that. So I'm in my Saturn period. Like this. You know? What that's called Graha Gras. That there's a star out there and it's controlling your life down here. And everything that you do. But what does Krishna say? Krishna said, Sadhu bir grasta hridayo. My heart is sadhu grasta. The sadhu is like a star controlling my heart. And Krishna is wandering here and there only because of the love of his devotees. Mad bhaktanam vinodatam karomi vividha kriya. In Padma Purana, Krishna said, everything I do, I just do it to please my devotees. So to try to mix and become one with God, to become one with Brahman, this is a very inferior ambition. By attaining pure love for Krishna, Krishna gives himself to that devotee, and everything he does is to please his devotees. So Bhakti Yoga is the best path, and the best practice of Bhakti Yoga is Harinam Sankirtan. Go Premanande!
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Please forgive me for torturing you for so long, making you sit for so long, listening to these ramblings. Please forgive me and come back tomorrow morning. What time is the class? 9:30?
9:30 bhajans.
Yeah, 9:30 bhajans tomorrow morning. I will also come for bhajans. I want to sing bhajans with you. So 9:30 bhajans here tomorrow morning. And tomorrow we want to speak about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches from the very basic things to Leela Tattva and Rasa Tattva through his own pastimes in this world. That will be our discussion tomorrow. The next day, morning and evening, then in the evening tomorrow, it will be Sankirtan. So please come on the Sankirtan. The next day will be Lord Nrsimha's appearance day. So morning and evening, we'll discuss his pastimes. And then the last day, only morning class, it will be the appearance of Radharaman Lala Ki Jai, and the disappearance of Srinivas Acharya, and the disappearance of our great Acharya, the Param Gurudev of Mahaprabhu himself, Srila Madhavendra Puripad. So that's a very special festival day. Please join us to celebrate all these important days. Hare Krishna. So now we'll have one last kirtan in our kirtan. Lots of kirtan night, not much talking night. Krishna, Krishna, Hare